I want to first join you in saying that theme out loud. Let's go together. One nation, one people, one Vinci. Again, one nation, one people, one Vinci. Dr. Friday, can I borrow that theme? But I'm going to tell you a few things about myself, not because I want to tell you that, but because I want you to understand some of the things that I'm going to say. But I'm very, very, very happy to be here, and thank you, Dr. Friday and the New Democratic Party for your invitation. We are really happy to be here to support you. The chairman already did it for me. I was about to tell you that Michael Astafans is with me. And please don't confuse the two things, chalk and cheese. Is there something more different than chalk and cheese? If you could think of it, then that's it. But it's not the same thing. Michael is an honorable gentleman who loves our country, Dominica. And, you know, he will continue to work with the Freedom Party as we go ahead. But more than just being the political leader of the Dominica Freedom Party, I want to tell you a few other things. One, I am a Christian. And there are 90% of St. Vincent and the Grenadines who are Christians, right? And the other 20% may be Rastafarians, but they are all people who love God, who have a strong God consciousness. Isn't that so? Now, why do I say that? Because, you know, we have to stop just saying that we are Christians or just saying that we are Rastafarian. Our Christianity must make us better. Our religion must make us better. And if it doesn't, it's no good. Why do I say that? Because, you see, as a Christian people, we have to translate that into our national life. As a Christian person, when I vote based on what is right, what is correct, what is good, what is honorable. Not just because I am part of the New Democratic Party, or not just because I'm part of a group that receives certain benefits because my party is in power, but I have to be an honorable Christian. And when I do that, I vote on results. I vote on integrity. These are the kinds of things that we use as Christian people to decide who leads us. Isn't that so? So I want to call on our Christian consciousness as a nation. I want to call on our godly consciousness as a people to do what is right. The other thing I want to mention to you, I am an economist by training. I worked with the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank for a number of years. I also worked with the Caribbean Development Bank for a number of years as well. When I resigned from the Caribbean Development Bank, my intention was to go into Dominica to help with the politics, to help my people here. But I will tell you this, as an economist, and having gone all through the Caribbean, I am very familiar with St. Vincent and with Grenada and with many of our islands, and I understand the challenges and the problems that we do have as a region. I truly understand this. But I will tell you some of the things I have found. And as I go along, I will remind you of some of this. But I will tell you some of the things that I have found that are most challenging to us as a people, and I'll come to that a little later. But I am here as a Dominican, and I am very glad to be here. Why am I so glad to be here? Because first of all, I want to come almost as being one of you. I always say to people, some of my favorite people in the Caribbean are really Vincentians. I have some real good friends who are from St. Vincent. You know what I also know? Some of the smartest people I have met in the Caribbean are also Vincentians. You believe that, right? It's true. I worked with quite a few of them. I still work with quite a few of them in some of the work that I still do. But, you know, I want us to really ponder What is it that do we want as a people? What is it that we want as a nation? What are we after? Well, I'm sure there are many answers to that. But clearly, we want a land that is more prosperous. Clearly, we want more employment for our young people. I mean, when I read the report on St. Vincent and I realized unemployment was so high, maybe the only country that's worse than you or just as bad as you is my own country, Dominica. But unemployment among the youth of 45% or 46 it is, that is high. That is high. I've been listening to some of your representatives here. The issues you face, issues of poverty, issues of persons going to school and not able to have a proper meal, issues of housing, economic issues. We want a better country. We want to create a country that's more prosperous, where we can live good lives. But not only that, we want to do so in dignity. But not just the economic aspect, because the social aspect is important. We want a country that we are happy to live in. A country where we can raise our families and be proud as a people that we are Vinci. We want that kind of country. We want a country where that cares for us. So therefore, our education, we educate our people, we provide health to our people, we think of housing, we think of the conditions of our people. If we are Vinci people, we have to be concerned about the plight of each other. That's the kind of country we want, a country that's caring. We also want a country where we understand that the environment is important and we need to protect the environment. We want a country of peace and prosperity. That's the kind of country we want. But are we where we want to be? Are we where we want to be? Are we where we want to be? And why is that so? Well, I will tell you why that is so. But before I tell you this, the thing about countries like St. Vincent and Dominica, I could tell you without a shadow of doubt that we have what it takes to get our people where we want to get them. I was looking at your national anthem, and actually I see all of the things that I wanted to talk about right in there. What do we have? A beautiful, fertile land called St. Vincent. What do we have? Beautiful, shimmering islands in the Grenadines that tourists want and long after. What do we have? Young people that want jobs, 45% unemployment. What do we have? People who are trained, who are educated, people who go overseas and who come back. And they have the skills, and they have good skills, but they cannot find jobs. That's what we have. And we can find the investments we need if we are well managed. And it's not just investments from overseas. It's also investments from our people. But we have to create the kinds of environment to do just that. But I wanted to say that to you because I am saying to you, as an economist, the single greatest challenge that I have found in our Caribbean people moving forward, well, two of them, and they are both related, is one, our ability to plan. Our planning is not adequate. But that is very closely related to another thing. And that other thing is governance. Good governance. That's very much lacking in many of our countries. And there are two aspects to this. And for lack of time, I won't be able to go into both aspects. But there are two aspects to this. One aspect has to do with our political system in itself, in the sense that it forces us to compete for votes. But the other aspect has to do with corruption. And let me tell you, in the Caribbean, I've seen it over and over again. Corruption hurts us. You look at your roads and you say, we need better roads. But sometimes it doesn't take additional taxes to get better roads. Sometimes all it takes is the proper use of our money. All it takes sometimes to get what we want is for there to be a lack of corruption. And this issue of corruption has affected many, many, many of our countries. So let me tell you, these are some of the things that we need to get a hold on. But what does it take to overcome corruption? What does it take to create the kind of country that we want? I want to commit to you, my people, that it takes a couple of things. But one is that we need committed leadership, and we need good leadership. That is a very, 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 very important ingredient. Another one I would like to say to you is that we need collaboration. We need collaboration across our countries, our kind of countries. And that is why I am also happy to be here. Because St. Vincent still needs Dominica, and Dominica still needs St. Vincent, and Grenada still needs St. Vincent and St. Lucia, and so on. I'll tell you why I'm saying that. I'm saying that because I recognize in our kind of countries, when you have politicians that are dishonorable, they can create havoc. When we have politicians that care more about themselves than about the people, they can create havoc. And therefore, we still need each other. We still need to have each other's back. We still need to be each other's keeper. That's why I could not resist but come in here. How could I stay quiet when I see attempts to destroy democracy? The same attempts I see in my own country is the same things I see here in St. Vincent. I cannot stay quiet, and I will not stay quiet. But let me just close with this. I know time is of the essence, and we want to introduce this great gentleman. But I will tell you something about Dr. Friday. When I first met him, I felt almost, and you're a Christian nation, so you'll be familiar with this scripture verse. But I don't know if you recall that scripture verse when Jesus saw Nathan in the Bible. Are you familiar with this? And what did he say? I will say to you in the way the New Living Bible says it. So he says, as they approach, Jesus said, that as they approached Nathan, he said, now here is a genuine son of Israel, a man of complete integrity. When I met Dr. Friday, when I spoke with him, when I realized the kind of man he was, I was forced to say that. Not forced, it was easy to say that to myself. A genuine man of the soil, a genuine Vinci, and a man of complete integrity. That's the kind of man that I'm looking forward to working with in the Caribbean to take our countries to higher heights. I thank you.